She's got a great ass! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Oscars episode of Requiem for a Tuesday. Big moment. The event of the year, and I didn't watch it. Happened to have tickets to an event. No way to record it. Found out there is a device that allows you to DVR antenna television. It's $100, number one, and number two, found out about it day of, so there was no chance I was going to acquire it. I watched as many YouTube videos as were available as of this recording. So I've seen a lot of it, a lot of acceptance speeches, and we'll get into it. The 96th Academy Awards on edibles starts after this message. Rate, review, and subscribe to Requiem for a Tuesday. Spotify, Apple, leave us a comment, give us some likes, do the things, whatever you do. Hit the share, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad. You have a sister or a brother. People. People. I'm a person. I know them. I'm telling them. You should do the same. Thank you. There's merch off at bigcartel.com. You can send us an email. You have an inquiry? You got a topic you would like to hear us tackle? We'll consider it, maybe. RFATpodcast@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram, m.rfat. Everything is linked in the description below. We got music. We got videos. We got a whole bunch of stuff and lots more episodes of this goddamn show. So check it all out. Many goodies. Many goodies. Me make it the goodies. So yeah, feeling good right now. Windows open, beautiful day. The Chicago Bears signed DeAndre Swift, and I'm not upset about it. Upgraded at safety. A lot of other signings just keep happening, though, and we're just not doing anything else. That's questionable, We need some depth moves at the very least. So you got to spend a little bit. I mean, we don't need $40 million in cap space. You don't have to be that patient. We could try to win something, please. All right. So the Oscars. Look, Kimmy Jimmel did all right. What do you want him to do? There was a lot of nervous laughter or even like shock seemingly at very tame jokes. They weren't necessarily that good. I don't know. Jimmy Kimmel's kind of cringe most of the time now. Historically a very funny guy. And in the right situation still is. But, I mean, he read Donald Trump's criticism, and then his response wasn't good. He was like, aren't you late for jail or something? It's like, just rip him apart. You have a crowd full of people against him. Like, you have the chance to just light the room on fire. Just felt like a really safe joke that didn't warrant him bringing it up. I would have liked a much more aggressive, like, burn him, like, try to actually hurt his feelings or something. I don't know. That just felt wimpy and gratuitous. Like, I'm going to make a family-friendly joke because it'll crush in this room, but didn't play for me. I don't know. I thought it was just like, it's kind of more embarrassing for you to talk about it. I feel like he took an L right there, and I don't want him to take an L. I want him to win that situation. And just kind of cringe. Like I don't know a better term for that, but just some cringe jokes. And how much of that is it because of like true like involvement with like limitations who knows? I don't know if the network is like really, really hammering down with notes, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's fucking Disney. You can't fuck with Disney. All right. What am I talking about? That was insane. Disregard whatever that I'm leaving it in because I know it was insane. But this is me clarifying that I'm aware of that at least. But that was whatever just happened there. That felt crazy and long. Okay. I'm just going to run through the categories. We're going to go bottom to top in the level of importance, I suppose, is how these are organized. It's hard to really determine. But yeah, I mean, picture and director at the top. If I have somewhat of a take, maybe I'll give it. Otherwise, this might just be easy breezy beautiful. You know what I'm saying, baby? And then I'll probably get into some instant free agency reactions because that's what I actually want to talk about. This was the plan the whole time. So I'm just, you don't deviate from the prophecy. As it's foretold. I'm on one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. Best visual effects. I could be a voice guy. I could be a guy that talks. Best visual effects. We had Napoleon, which that's kind of surprising. I don't imagine that's the case, that they deserve to be there. But I didn't see it. I don't know. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which I hear there's no longer a Part 2. And I think they retconned the Part 1. I don't know if that's true. I don't think they retconned it, but there's just no Part 2, maybe. Something weird's going on with that. Guardians 3, that makes sense. The Creator, that makes sense. That was low budgie. But the lower budgie, Godzilla -1, which I've only heard rave things about. One, which it was only made for $10 million estimated. Again, having not seen it, I've seen some clips. Doesn't seem like it had a small budget. So whatever they're doing over there, once again, the Japanese 10 steps ahead. Except, except the Oppenheimer time. What an Oscars relevant joke. I pat myself on the back for that one. Godzilla -1, hope to see it, but congratulations. I have no gripes here. Good or gripe? Let's play good or gripe. Never mind. No, I was gonna say, we should use gripe more, but I'm just gonna, but we should, and I'm gonna hope to spearhead that. But here's credit, timestamped. Best film editing: Oppenheimer, Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Poor Things. Oppenheimer wins. It won Best Picture, obviously. This all already happened. I'm just recapping these so I can trigger my own insanity. But, you figure if it's the Best Picture, it has to be the best edit. Those aren't necessarily correlated, but I feel like those go hand in hand a lot. I'm sure the stats are already calculated for every combination of things. But whatever, I don't think, I'm never like, man, that editing, it's pretty rare when I think that. So, no complaints, no gripe. Costume design, Oppenheimer, I could see it. Napoleon, I could see it. Killers, I could see it. Barbie, I could see it. Whatever. Poor Things seems like a bad movie, as I discussed with just this. last week. It just seems nonsensical and stupid and not anything I would ever be interested in. So, I loved Killers of the Flower Moon. That was the best movie I saw last year. It obviously won nothing, which is absolutely tragic and a crime. And, you drag little old Martin Scorsese all the way across the country for this bullshit. He doesn't get to see one member of his entire film. It's such a good movie. I mean, this is why, whatever. It's upsetting. None of my favorite guys get Oscar recognition. They all have one, I mean, I guess, but still, it's not right. It's not where it should be. So whatever, makeup and hairstyling, Poor Things, sure, I don't care about any of these other ones. Society, the second it wasn't in English, they turned it off. I don't care. Oppenheimer, whatever. They have makeup on, I don't know. Maestro, don't care. It's just, I feel like I used to have so much passion for the makeup, and like any category could have got me fired up. But it's just whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I loved Oppenheimer, but I'm not like a champion of Oppenheimer. And I loved Killers, but frankly, I just thought Lily Gladstone was a lock. And then hopefully they would win one or two of these other ones, these below the line production awards or something. Just like by sheer numbers, that seems possible. But no, nothing. And that's really upsetting. But again, I didn't even watch the show. I was seeing Shane Gillis, which was a better time. But even like in the moment, it would not have devastated me. When I first opened up my phone and read the results, I wasn't like, I mean, the Emma Stone win, I was like shocked. But it didn't trigger any emotion within me. I didn't lose it. I was just like, wow, that's insane. I can't believe that. And I was a little ticked off, a little bit, I guess, but really just surprised. And that's the truth. Just not a lot of commitment, I feel like. I'm not married to any of these movies. I wasn't swooned. There's no Licorice Pizza here. And when was that? Was that 2 years ago? Was that 3 years ago? Is that what this world is? That's how much time has passed? I'm double checking. I'm going to lose my shit. That was 3 years ago? Oh my God. I'm going to jump off a bridge. Are you fucking kidding me? Magical film. Absolutely magical. I loved it. Can't wait. Apparently, also, the new PTA movie, the budget's $110 million, and it's like a huge contemporary action movie or some shit. It's going to be fucking incredible. When Licorice Pizza came out, he's like, yeah, I just hope I can, get enough funding to make these little movies like this. His next movie's $100 million movie. Phenomenal. Thank God. What a legend. Imagine being able to just do cocaine and just fucking babble your way to getting $100 million despite you never really making a profitable film. Which is unfortunate. I mean, they should be. But most of them are not, actually. I believe. If you look at the data. Anyway, what do we got next? Production design, Poor Things. I thought Barbie would have won this because it had like kind of a traditional like 50s, 60s like movie set look. Usually that's what the Academy goes for. Oppenheimer, they did build a lot of stuff, but is that a cop-out? because it was also literally about a real thing in which they built a town. So in the movie, they kind of had to build the town. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, just because there's volume, does that make it the best? You know what I'm saying? Killers, same thing. You know, I don't know. And then Poor Things, whatever. Again, I don't get it. So I can't even talk about it. Best sound, Zone of Interest. I heard this was the low key sneaky winner. If Oppenheimer didn't get it. Again, the second I found out it wasn't in English, I have no interest in seeing it. Seems very depressing and unsettling either way. Good win, I guess. Congrats. The creator fell asleep. Maestro, don't care. Mission Impossible, haven't seen one of them. Not a fucking one of them, Tom. Okay? Do something better. Act again. Act again. Come on. Dude, what happened to Tropic Thunder Tom Cruise? What happened to fun Tom Cruise? Your wooden face. Tell a joke. All right. My mouth is so dry. Water break. I spilled all over my foot. All right, we're back. Best original score, Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was great. I liked American Fiction, the jazz. I was all about the jazz. As you may know, if you listen to the American Fiction episode, thank you if you did. Go do it if you didn't. Okay. Killers of the Flower Moon, also the Robbie Robertson score, just that pulsating country-ass, southern-ass, Dust Bowl-ass music. Pretty great stuff. But it didn't propulse through like the whole movie. It ended up being pretty sparse. But that's such a Marty thing too, though. The movies are like kind of interstitched in weird ways where the bulk of something doesn't have to stay. Let me rephrase that. Just because there's a ton of music up front doesn't mean the whole movie's filled with a bunch of music. And it can all of a sudden have no music for an hour straight. And then it can have a bunch at the end or whatever. It's whatever it needs to be. But you'll never be able to understand. It's Marty. It's just Marty, baby. I don't know what I'm saying. But I could see why. But Ludwig, I mean, he was the fucking composer on Community. He was making beats for Childish Gambino's early mixtapes. And now this dude's like the biggest composer in the world. It's nuts. Good for him. That's a second Oscar. I think I assume he has Grammys for shit. Because he's done music production for other rappers and stuff as well. I mean, what a guy. What a guy. He said, "Thank you, Mom, for buying me drum machine instead of video game." It's like, damn, dude, he just roasted the nerds on his way out of winning the Oscar. Pretty hard fucking core, Ludwig. Original song, the Barbie song, Billie Eilish. I don't even know what song this is. I saw the movie. I have no memory of this. So whatever, good for them. A song from Flamin' Hot, an unwatchable, lifetime quality movie. Got maybe 5 minutes into that. I'm Just Ken. Kind of unbelievable that that's an Oscar nominee because it's like a joke song. Pretty good, but still. American Symphony. Don't even know what that is. What is American Symphony? It's a documentary about a symphony? That shouldn't count. And a song from Killers of the Flower Moon that I also couldn't tell you what it was. So, whatever. Billie Eilish. This kid. How old is she? 20? 22. Has literally done it all already. So that's crazy. I don't get it at all. But, whatever. I'm not a kid no more. It ain't for me. It ain't for me. Anyway, this isn't music. Animated short, some John Lennon thing, like unbelievable. Can we get over the fucking Beatles already? I mean, I'm just sick of it. John Lennon, who cares? I'm sorry, let's relax. Cause I mean, obviously I'm too far away with it where it's like if we're going 60s, I'd rather go like the Velvet Underground. But obviously that's never going to be like a mass consumed thing. And it was never, I don't know why anybody thought it was going to be, frankly. But it's like, can we talk about Led Zeppelin more or something? That would be more fun. They're better. They're less gay. Like the Beatles are like fine if you're whatever. There's a couple times it catches your ear and you're like, oh, okay. But what are we doing? Are people really listening to like albums of this shit still? Are we still like we can look past John Lennon, who is by all accounts not a good guy. I thought being a meanie made you a Nazi or something. Or a fascist. John Lennon was a fascist, as the kids would say. Trying to sound like a young person. What? I don't care, but just what are we doing? Why is there an animated short film about John Lennon? And Yoko Ono, is there a less liked person who technically didn't really do anything wrong? From the way I understand it. I don't care, though. I don't like her either. But I'm not upset. Let her live. Just not my kind of art, lady. Do you, though? Do you? Live action short film, Wes Anderson. I never watched this one, The Henry Sugar. I heard it was good. He him doing Roald Dahl is like a guaranteed success, as we know. So, I'm not going through what the opponents were because I have no idea what these are, and neither do you, so it doesn't matter. But so the famous people won. Wes Anderson's first Oscar, I believe. I don't even think he had a screenplay one. Yeah, because I don't think Fantastic Mr. Fox won somehow. Is that correct? Hold on. I need to double check this. Oh, wow. Interesting. It did not. That's crazy. So yeah, his very first Oscar. That was correct. Best documentary, The Last Repair Shop. Don't know what that is. Don't know what any of these are. Whatever. There's not really a documentary really has to like cross over and break through for anyone to be aware of it, and that just definitely didn't happen this year. Feature film 20 Days in Mariupol. Don't know what any of these nominees were either. So yeah. Bobby Wine, the people's president. Bobby Wine? Might be Wine, Ugandan. I have no idea. I don't know why. I don't know why I would assume when I read Ugandan that I would then know how to pronounce it. Like, oh, Ugandan? Of course it's this. Insanity. International feature, The Zone of Interest. This is my least favorite thing, is that when a movie is nominated for Best Picture that is also international and then is nominated for Best International, How could it not win Best International if it's up for Best Picture overall? It must be the Best International. Like, a movie could never be nominated for Best Picture and Best International and then not win Best International, even if it loses Best Picture, because then that automatically means the movie that does win Best International should have clearly also been nominated for Best Picture. Like, it's an instant paradox. So that just bothers me. But what's also more curious, though, is that there are multiple other films nominated for Best Picture that are foreign language that are not nominated for Best Foreign Language. I think that was basically to guarantee the Zone of Interest the win here. And the other ones were just thrown in as afterthoughts. Past Lives and the other one. What am I thinking of? What's the other one? Oh, that's it. Because Anatomy of a Fall is the other one. Yeah, so I think they just kind of threw Past Lives in as a, like, we have 9. What can we just do as number 10? Because Past Lives not nominated for international. So that's confusing. Animated feature, also an upset. The Boy and the Heron wins over Spider-Man. I don't know what Robot Dreams is. Elemental, that looked bad. Nimona, I don't know what that is. But Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is honestly one of the greatest animated films ever made. The Boy and the Heron is not that. It is technically, I don't know, just because it's hand-drawn, I wouldn't say it's more of an achievement because I've never seen anything animated in the style of Spider-Man before. It's more technically impressive than anything I've ever seen. And The Boy and the Heron, yeah, beautiful detail and amazing amount of work. But it's just a very, very detailed Miyazaki, and we've seen a lot of Miyazakis, not to discredit them. It's just not as original as these Spider-Man films are, and I think just the fact that it's Spider-Man, just in the case of the Academy Awards, is a negative. That's a negative connotation, and that's a theory that I'm going to stick to. And the fact that it could be Miyazaki's last, who knows? It's apparently he's making more movies, but, old guy. Just saying, unfortunately. Adapted screenplay, American Fiction. I loved this movie. I talked about a few episodes back. That's fantastic. I'm surprised Oppenheimer didn't win. Barbie also could have won. That seemed unlikely. Poor Things, whatever, Zone of Interest, yeah. But great for American Fiction. A very fun movie that I would watch again. Original screenplay, Anatomy of a Fall. That movie sucked, but whatever. I assume the screenplay is great and reads well. The Holdovers apparently was plagiarized, the news came out. I don't know if that got swept under the rug or if that was completely false or what's going on with that. But keep an eye out for The Holdovers plagiarism case. Also a great movie that I would watch again. Really a gem that I think could have legs long term. Maestro, don't care. May December, don't care. Past Lives. Okay, see, so Past Lives gets that and Best Picture, but not international. And it is international, right? Am I crazy? Oh, it's technically was a U.S. release? Oh, I was completely wrong about this. Why did I think this was in another language? Never mind. I was completely misinformed. Well, I don't know what language this is in, but either way, it doesn't matter. Maybe it's not international. That's my mistake. But wait, also, Anatomy of a Fall was not nominated for Best International. So that is also a conflict either way. The same point that I was trying to make still applies. Yeah. That's strange, though. Wow. Maybe I'll watch Past Lives then. I'm just not good with subtitles at home. I need to see subtitled movies in theaters. It's the only way I can pay attention. Because I'll look away for multiple lines in a row and completely miss huge details. It's my fault, not the movie's fault. But it just is what it is. I just can't help it. Especially when I'm doing 100 milli episodes. It's for the people. Original screenplay, yeah. So Anatomy of a Fall, whatever. Supporting actress Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. We roasted her accent on the Holdovers episode. Me and Justice. Go check that out. But the performance was good, and Emily Blunt was a non-performance. Honestly, what's her name? Florence Pugh would have made more sense. I thought her performance was better. She just had a better character to work with either way. Color Purple, America Ferrera and Barbie, Jodie Foster and Naiad, which like nobody saw that. I didn't even know what that was. I had to look. So yeah, the right person won. Downey Jr. won for Oppenheimer. That was a lock. Like the second it happened, De Niro could have won. Gosling winning would have been fun, but crazy. Sterling K. Brown was pretty good, but I don't know. I thought that was kind of a stretch, even though I liked American Fiction a lot. Best Actress was a shock. I thought Lily Gladstone had that in the bag. Again, I'm not going to watch Poor Things. I don't imagine her performance was better. Lily Gladstone is maybe, not necessarily the star of Killers, and since it's such a long movie, she's technically in a lot smaller of a percentage of the movie for sure. So I'm guessing that's the reason why, but her performance was unbelievable. She absolutely deserved it. They should have put her in supporting then. If that would have guaranteed her the win, I would have been fine with that, because she deserved it. So that's upsetting. Again, Killers with no wins is really just tragic. Cillian Murphy was a lock also. So, yeah. Paul Giamatti was great. Jeffrey Wright was great. I'm sure Bradley Cooper was good in Maestro and whatever. Rustin, I also had to look up. I didn't know that movie came out. Netflix did not really promote that very well, or I just don't go on Netflix enough. So, whatever. But Cillian Murphy deserved it, I thought. Director Nolan made sense. If it was Anatomy of a Fall, I would have been upset. Killers, Marty deserves it. But Oppenheimer, it just was a bigger, crazier vision. Killers was incredible also, but I think for the Oscars, especially because I don't know, they're both historical, but yeah, I don't know. Scorsese just doesn't get the love. It was between those two for me, but it probably didn't even come in. It didn't even come in second. They just don't. They don't rep him. And Best Picture as well. Usually those two go hand in hand. So no real surprises there. Everybody loved the Gosling musical performance. The guy's a star. I'm a huge fan. Love him to death. Yeah, I don't have any notes. I'm gonna do my best to not miss it next year. I'm gonna keep that day open on my calendar and not book things so hastily, so we get the Oscars ship shape sham ready to roll. Maybe a live recording during the performance. And I just post up the whole thing. It's like 4 hours long. There'd be some big gaps, though. It'd be hard to keep yapping for 4 hours. Even for me, you'd be surprised. Oh, I am exhausted now, though. We're gonna have to wrap this up. It's seeming like the Dune double feature is happening. I watched the first Dune. I need to see Dune 2 this week in order for me to fulfill this episode potential promise. So look for that. Please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Please share it with your friends, with your fam, with your mother, with your father. I don't give a goddamn who's or what's. Just to do it a little bit for me. Check out all the links in the description below. We got a whole bunch of stuff for you to check out. And yeah, I will talk to you next week. But remember, RFAT. You are fat. We are fat. A calculator, baby.